again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we are back again with another Prepping with Sarge challenge. And if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I absolutely love these. The community really needs to get more involved in things like this. These are a great exercise for not only yourself to go through and answer how you personally would deal with one of these challenges, but you can get together with your friends, your family, your mag, your tribe, your neighbors, your coworkers, all sorts of people. And most of the time, yeah, the end result may be the same. You know, it might be a challenge of are you going to do this or that? But the way that you navigate to that yes or no can vary wildly. And it can give you a very good picture to where you can pick and pull and you can get people's inputs of things that you would never consider, to where you can go, well, I'm going to take a little piece of that. And oh, I really like how you did that. And it'll help you formulate an even better plan. So, if you have not watched Prepping with Sarge's video challenge, I highly encourage you. It's like 6 minutes long. Um, but I'll go ahead and give you the scenario here, where it is SHTF has already happened. Rule of law is hanging on by a thread. Civilization's hanging on by a thread. It's going to tip kind of any day, right? But you have where you look out your window, you see a thin elderly woman standing in your property with a very young girl child. They're not knocking at your door, they're not doing anything like that. And his question that he poses is, would you help them? All right, let me go ahead and start this off. Yes. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to walk you through my thought process. Obviously, you're going to use common sense, right? If you look out, you see them, and then you glance slightly to the left and slightly to the right, and you see 50 armed, tacked out guys all pointing rifles in your direction. Probably not, right? We're going to use common sense. Uh, First of all, why would I just go ahead and say yes? Is because if they have made it onto my property, and I'm not talking that they or tactically made their way in, right? That they waited for the moon to peak at a certain time of the year to guide them without a flashlight as they navigated various obstacles and perimeter security things and my sentry guards and all that, and they somehow still ninjaed their way up, 10 feet from my front door. No, if they made it onto my property, I know that they were there. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not sneaking up into my property without somebody here knowing that you are here. If not, knowing that you are even coming towards the property. You may not even be on my property, but we probably know that you're headed into this direction. So we've probably already made that decision long before that they got there, right? We're allowing them to come onto the property. And that'd be one of the things that we've actually discussed as a mag, is we would have a form of stationed guards, to where you would see them. It's a show of force. Yes, this area is protected. We would also have hidden protection as well. So you may see one or two people over here walking around doing a patrol, but you don't see the other people. Okay, and that's by design. We did that for a purpose, and so we've already probably spotted people. We've already watched and made our observations, discussed it, because in his scenario, he didn't say that they came by bus, train, airplane, motorcycle, car, whatever. They're on foot, so it's going to take them a while to cross wherever they are. Where we noticed them, we watched and observed, and we probably scanned the area, looked at everything. We haven't found any threats, days beforehand. Probably noticed them coming this way. We'd probably discussed it, and if they do stumble into the property, we'll keep an eye out and whatnot. And it might be a series of vetting things. Okay, it may be one of the things of how long will you stay there, right? Are you going to stand out there for 5 minutes and move on? because maybe that's a sign of they don't really need help. They're just stopping there for an opportunity, and you might give them something, but they're going to keep moving on. Okay, and sometimes the problem just solves itself. Or are they going to stand there and stand there and stand there and stand there and stand there? Because eventually you're going to have to make a decision. You can't just treat them like a door-to-door salesman or somebody coming to your door to try and give you whatever. You can't just stand there and peer at them all day long. There's work to be done, right? People have to go outside. They have to do things. You can't just stand there for half the day and lock everybody down and just hope that they go away. You're going to have to deal with that. So you have a decision to make. You can either tell them go away, right? Which means that you're going to have to communicate. So you're going to either have to slightly open the door or open the window, or maybe you have a speaker and a radio system or whatever, and you're going to have to say, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you anything, please vacate my property. um, and then you're going to have to live with that decision, right? If you are too scared to open up the door and help them, and they meant absolutely no harm, they probably couldn't harm you even if they wanted to, and they really need supplies. That's on you. Okay, if you can do it and you can live with yourself, and that's your decision. I'm not here to say right or wrong. That's completely for you, right? I have to be able to sleep at night, and so I will make my own decisions for me. Sometimes you are going to have to make that tough decision. Sometimes things are going to look very sketchy, and you're going to have to say, I'm sorry, no. And you're just going to have to do it. Okay, if a scenario like this comes along, you will not be able to help everybody. It's not going to happen, right? And you will statistically, depending on how long it goes, you will probably make one or two bad calls, even if you intend to help as many as you can. You're probably not going to have a 100% track record. You're probably going to have a bad feeling. Something's going to feel wrong or look wrong or whatever, and you're going to turn somebody away that meant you no harm, and it's basically going to be an unaliving sentence, if you will. So for me in that scenario, uh, I've probably deemed them safe enough, right? I've maybe yellow carded them or something like that. Um, yeah, they seem to be okay. We're still going to keep our guard up. We're still going to watch. Um, and then it might be a conversation from a distance. Who are you? Why are you here? What do you want? Right? Do you want to join us? Do you just want a bag of crackers and a couple of bottles of water, and you'll be on your way? Where did you come from? How did you get here? Why are you here? You might have to go through and question and vet them and try and figure things out, because they may mean you no harm. Absolutely none. It may be another group that is using them, and they didn't tell them the truth. They lied to them. Hey, here's some food, here's some water, and you know what you do is you go right up the way here, and you go about 10 miles, and there's another group there, and they'll give you some food and water and things like that, right? And then when they do that, then you come back here, and I'll give you some food and water, and then you go back, and okay, sure, why not? If you're desperate enough, why wouldn't you do that? So, they come up here and we give them some food and water, and they turn back and they go back the way they came. Now, without knowing it, they may give up all of our information, right? How many people is there? What's their security like? How much food and water? Who's in charge? What's the age of everybody there? Are they younger? Are they older? Things like that. And they may do it completely unknowingly. Okay, and there's danger now, and we have to be very, very careful, because yes, we can make the call that they mean us absolutely no harm, and they may not. They may be completely sincere in their intentions, but that doesn't mean that harm can't come from it. So we have to be extremely smart about it, but we also have to maintain that it's human life that is in our hands, right? We make that decision, we make that call, and somebody's going to have to be able to do it. Okay. And I've said this time and time again, if you watch my channel for any length of time, before you go through and you say absolutely yes or absolutely no, let me give you two scenarios of my own. Okay. For me, I'm going to help as many people as I can safely without myself or any people that I love or care about getting harmed in any way, shape, or form. If one of the people that you love and care about is in desperate need, dire need of assistance. They are not going to make it until morning without water. Would you rather them stumble upon another group or my group? Because if you answered, I'd rather them stop with your group, then you need to question your motives. Or if you are the other end, you are going to help as many people as possible. Would you help somebody that comes up and they have 2 or 3 rifles on them, right? They have a shotgun, a rifle, and a pistol, and they come and they're going, hey, 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 are you going to help them? Because if the answer is no, no, they're armed. I'm not doing that. Okay, what happens if they just pick them up, right? Maybe they have absolutely no ammunition. What happens if you go, no, you know what? I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, right? They got their hands up, they're putting their guns on the ground, everything like that. I'm gonna help them. What happens if it's a trap, right? We can't be 100% yes, and we can't be 100% no. We've got to use common sense, but we've also got to go through and do a challenge like prepping with Sarge. So we think about this ahead of time. So we have some way of being able to fall back onto these situations. We're in a time of peace. We're probably sitting inside. We're watching videos like this with the air conditioned on, sitting on a very comfy chair, a recliner, a couch, whatever. We got our feet propped up. We got an ice cold lemonade or a beer or something like that. Food's in the fridge. We got full bellies. Everything's great. This is the best time to go through these difficult scenarios is because there's no stress involved, right? We can at least start scratching the surface and we can start evaluating what we would and wouldn't do. And we need to look at it from every single angle, right? Because I firmly believe you're not going to be able to help everybody. And I firmly believe you should not turn every single person away. Okay. That's exactly where I stand. Now, for me, that I'm going to end up helping this person. Yes, I'm going to vet them. I'm going to question them. I'm going to try and figure out as much information as I possibly can. And with that will be how much and what kind of help did I give them. I may give them a pack of crackers and a bottle of water and go, you came from the South. You're not going back south. Okay. You're going to go somewhere. You're going to go north, northwest, northeast, something like that. You're not going back the way you came. Okay. And then at least I have time, right? If their plan was to come and gather intel and things like that, if they leave northeast, northwest, or whatever, they're going to have to go so far in that direction before they turn and start circling back. One, they better be a heck of a navigator to navigate them their way all the way back there. Or B, uh, they're probably telling the truth. So, uh, that's the way that we kind of have things set up for us. Okay, now will it work for you? No, I don't know. Okay, that's up to you guys. That's why prepping with Sarge puts out these challenges. It's why I love these challenges, is because it gets the old noggin working. You need to start turning those gears, blow off the cobwebs, and start thinking about this stuff. Because if SHGF was ever happen, and if you were ever faced with this situation, you literally have somebody's life in your hands. And before you go, I don't care. Okay. Think about for me. If something happened to me and something happened to Mrs. Rural and little Rural wandered out of the house and stumbled upon your property, are you turning them away? Right. Okay. Think about that. Now, here's the thing. Are you turning for the people that's going to say, I'm turning everybody away? We circle the wagons, we close up, we're not letting anybody near our property. What happens if it's a child that you know, right? It's a coworker's child. It is your cousin, that lives 3 cities away, whatever. What happens if it's one that you know? Are you still turning them away, right? It's a whole bunch of different scenarios that you can run through when you go through any of this stuff. And to be able now to start planning this, for me, once I go through and I do my questioning, once I start figuring things out and I decide what I'm going to do, because ultimately, uh, I don't really want to make the decision for them, right? I don't want to lead them on. I want them to tell me the answers. When you start questioning somebody, and I'm telling you, that is one of the big things right there. Go through, and that'll be my challenge to you guys. Start interrogating each other, right? Go through, make a scenario. Okay. You're the person wandering up on the property. I'm the first person to find you. I'm going to interrogate you. Here's the questions, right? And then you can start having it to where, did I lead them to an answer that I wanted? Or did I be very forthcoming in the way that I worded it, that 100% of their response is them, right? So we have to be very careful with our wording and how we do it, our body language, what we have around us. If you have some scared elderly person with a young child, they have no form of protection. They mean you absolutely no harm. And then you take 8 big, huge guys dressed in all black and tacked out with a whole bunch of machetes and firearms and huddle up 2 feet from them. You're going to get a scared response, right? What do people do when they start making decisions out of fear, right? It's not them, it's the fear talking. So they're going to tell you whatever they think you want to know instead of telling you the truth. So we've got to be very careful. So we have to make sure that we display leadership, that we display we're the ones in charge, right? Now, I don't mean you no harm unless you do something that requires an escalation of the event, but we have to establish authority. Okay. I'm in charge. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to see how you respond. And if you answer, to the way that I think that you're telling the truth, will be what comes of this situation. You will get a little help and be sent on your way. You'll be given a little bit more help and maybe watched over, quarantined for a little bit. Look, you're tired, you're dehydrated, you don't really have, you haven't had food in a long time. Tell you what, I'm going to go and I'm going to put you right here. You're going to be guarded at all times. We mean you no harm as long as you don't do anything, rash or anything like that. I'm going to keep you right here. You'll be protected. You'll be fed. You'll have water. You're going to do some chores and whatnot, and you'll be able to stay for a week until you've rested and healed up and, got enough water and food and things. And then we're going to send you on your way. Okay. Or we may just accept you in. You may be just another working hands. Maybe it's going to be one of the things of, that woman has a ton of skills, let her be medically, let her it be that she can grow a bunch of things. Maybe she can identify plants. Maybe she's good at animal husbandry. Maybe she's a really good butcher, a sewer, all sorts of things, right? I need to know what value she brings for me, because I'm not going to bring anybody in that does not mutually benefit everybody. Because if it's just another mouth to feed and we get nothing as a group out of it, I'm sorry. Here's some help, but your place is not here. Okay. And I can't stress this enough. Reach out to those around you. Just because you have your mag set does not mean that you should close yourself off. Find other mags close to you, because that little old lady may be a retired nurse. She may have worked nursing for the last 45 years. And that other mag that's 15 miles down the road, they lost their doctor. They don't have anybody that's highly medical trained. They could use her very badly. And we could be able to communicate, hey, we just got this person. We're vetting them. We're getting everything good. Do you guys want to come down and, check her out? It may be great, right? It may be exactly what they're missing. To be able to keep that route open with other groups, right? To be able to barter, trade, give news and intelligence, offer assistance and things like that. It could be a great thing. And it's definitely one that there's not a whole lot of groups that seem to do this. And I don't know why. We're all playing the same game here. And, the only way that you're my enemy is if you make yourself my enemy. Other than that, you leave us alone or you mutually benefit the situation. And that's what it is, right? You got those three choices, and that's kind of the way when SHTF comes at us is leave us alone. You do you. I'm gonna do me. You stay over there. I won't bother you. You don't bother me. We'll live in peace and harmony just like that. Two, you're going to bring value, and we're going to trade value. You give me something, I give you something. Everybody walks away happy. Or the last one, you can't do either one of those, and we're we're going to have to figure out something. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So, but to button us up, yes, I would help her. 100%. I would help her in some sort of way, some form or fashion. How little, how big, I don't know. Right. That's going to depend on the observation of her coming onto the property. That's going to be her answers as we question her. It's going to be her body language, the way that she answers, things like that. And it's going to depend on what she wants, right? She may not want to stay. Look, I don't want to go. I am, because I'm here in Ohio. Let's just call me Columbus. I don't live anywhere close to Columbus, but let's call me Columbus, which is right in the middle. Maybe she's was in Cincinnati and she lives in Cleveland, so that's south and north, and she's passing through. She wants just a little bit of food and water so she can keep going north. She's just trying to get back home. They were on vacation. They were down there. They were at the Cincinnati Zoo, whatever. SHTF happened. She just needs to go north. That's all. And maybe that's exactly the truth, right? Maybe you start asking her various questions. Okay, which highway are you taking? She tells you. How long did it take you to get from there to there? And she tells you, and you're going, okay, that's about right. You can do these little things to get little minute stuff, right? If she's not telling the truth, and you go, okay, you're going to Cleveland, so that's right next to, and you can name some other city, and is that over there by Youngstown? And if they go, oh yeah, yeah, it's like 10 minutes from Youngstown, and you go, no, it's not. No, it's a lot further to Youngstown than that. Then you can start going, something's not right, right? If they're trying to lead you on and purposefully lie, something's not right, and it throws up red flags, and then you can do with what you will, right? If they're lying and doing all that, um no, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you any help. You are going to be escorted that way. um who knows, right? You're going to have to figure it out. uh, you're just going to have to deal with it situation by situation, and however they come is kind of how you're just going to have to deal with it. So but I'm curious, right? I love these prepping with Sarge challenges because it really gives a lot of insight. We get to see how each people will go through and make their decision, and they walk us through their decision processes and stuff like that. If you are a content creator, I completely implore you to start joining this, start making the video responses. If you don't have a channel, go to his page and type it out, right? I would love to, at the very least, read it, but participate in it, right? It costs you nothing to participate, and it's an excellent form to start getting your head and your mind wrapped around some of these situations that are definitely possible, right? Nothing that he's done so far is completely out of the realm of possibility. And so it really gives us that challenge to go, you know what if that was to happen? What would I do? Right. And don't go through and assume, right? You can talk to your wife or your husband, you can talk to your neighbors or whatever, and assume that they all agree with you. But until you actually ask that question, they may surprise you, right? And you never know, right? You can have your mind change, you can change somebody else's mind, but it's a very good conversation to at least start and have. So, but that's what I've got for you guys again. So, special shout out goes to Prepping with Sarge. Thank you, sir. Please keep pumping these out. I love these. I'd absolutely beg you to do at least one a month because these are really fun to do, and I really enjoy them. And I really hope that this starts something, and more people are encouraged to participate in this. So, but that's what I've got for you guys today. Leave something down here in the comment section for me, what it is that you would do. Go over and check Sarge out, find his video, leave a comment over there. If you do a video, tag Sarge in it, or do something to let him know, because He really wants to see it. If you make a video, tag me or put me in a comment section or send me an email or do something. Hey, I made a video. Go check it out because I really do. I want to see it too. So, with that, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You could be doing absolutely anything, but you chose to hang out with me for almost a half an hour. So, hats off to you. Thank you so much. But with that, I'm going to bid you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, an amazing day, a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.